This episode of The Insurance Dream is brought to you by...
Are you an insurance agent needing access to more carriers? Insurance Professionals offers agents instant access to top national home, auto, commercial, and life carriers. Our free multi-rater allows you to quote all lines of insurance with one data entry process, and quotes are available instantly. Our program provides direct carrier access to agents, so there is no middleman underwriters to wait on. Simply quote your insureds with our free multi-rater. Pick the quote you want and log into the carrier to bind directly on their website. We charge no upfront or monthly access fees. Get started today at becomeaninsurancepro.com. That's becomeaninsurancepro.com.
So let us know in chat too if you're in the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group. I know a lot of you are, 26,000 insurance agents in there. So glad to have you guys part of it. Write MFIA in the comments if you're a part of the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group. And write not yet if you're not. Cool. So we got this up. So we're going to be talking all about selling more with social media tonight. Really excited. If you're excited for us to dive into that, right, let's go down in the comments. And I promise the more interactive you are with us in the comments and with the chat and with questions, the more you'll get out of tonight in this presentation. So, and please do ask your questions. Make sure it's selected to everyone when you do send it, and our team's collecting those. We'll make sure to get all those answered for you guys tonight. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of questions. When we did this presentation, we always got a ton of questions on social media. I think a lot of people always had questions and just maybe scared to ask. So we will be answering those tonight for you guys. No holds barred. So ready to dive in. So I'm David Denning. This is Elle Denning. We're part of Jumpstart Go, the founders that runs the Marketing for Insurance Facebook group that a lot of you guys are in. And we work with insurance agents and agency owners, helping them grow and scale their insurance businesses, their commissions, their sales, their teams, specifically through a lot on lead generation through organic social media, how to get those referrals and sales for free from social, strategic referral partner relationships, how to optimize with vendors to actually get good ROIs that are predictable and scalable, automation, sales, building teams, really all the different areas. And we absolutely love watching insurance agencies grow and scale. We'll talk about that a little bit tonight, but we're going to be diving especially into one of our favorite topics tonight on selling more with social media and how to use social media effectively for your insurance agency. I'm not even talking about with ads. I'm talking organically for free. So really excited to dive in tonight with that. So let's go and let's go ahead and hop in. So with that, I did mention the Facebook group that a lot of you guys are in. If you're not, just look this up on your phone, computer, go join us. Marketing for Insurance Agents. It's over 26,000 insurance agents in the group. We do weekly trainings like this, 6 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. Sometimes we do Facebook Live. Sometimes we do webinars like this. So go ahead and get that on your calendar. You're not going to want to miss them. And we have a ton of discussions, a ton of people asking questions, connecting with other agents, referral partners, try to make this super valuable for you guys. And that's why it's grown so big, is because we keep it super positive and really value driven. So if you're not a part, go join it and join us in that community. And if you are a part of it, ask any and all questions you can in there. We're happy to connect. We're happy to answer questions. And we love seeing agents make connections with each other within the group too. So with that, we're going to go ahead and hop into, we have a few clients we've worked with, just a few examples of what they were able to do with social media. With Nancy, actually doubled her entire agency's revenue last year, literally doubled the revenue, and using social media as a part of that. Kathy Jones doubled her production using social media organically, no ads, once again for free. Tina as well, grown and scaling her business through organic social. So really excited to show what the power of this is. Really agencies increasing 20, 50,000 plus in production a month. We have agents and agency owners writing 100,000 plus in premium a month just themselves on their own pin through social media, all kinds of stuff you can do with it. So really excited to start covering some of the basics of social media and for your insurance business. So let's hop in.
That's the name of that program is called the Closers Click.
Oh, the name of the program is called the Closers Click, by the way. So Should have mentioned that. So how does social media help you sell more? A lot of people like, it's pictures of cats. It's pictures of babies and grandkids. Like it's a silly, fun thing we do. How does social media actually help you sell more?
Yeah, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. First up is how to use social media to generate new leads and prospects. So increase that lead flow, not only to generate more leads to fill up that pipeline, but to also generate higher intent quality leads. Write me in the chat if you would like higher intent leads that know a little bit about you before you actually get on the phone with them. I think all of us would. Social media also helps you build authority and trust, stay top of mind, allows you to really position yourself as that knowledge expert as well. And then all of this really culminates into an increased close rate, but not only closing that first sale, but also how you can increase the lifetime value of a customer through referrals and cross-selling, as well as retaining them longer, making them stickier.
So speaking about new prospects, which is one of the favorite things and things that agencies want most from social, is to help fill that pipeline, new prospects, new people to sell and to help with your products and services. So this is an example of one of our clients, Olivia Appleberry, who absolutely crushed it using social media for growing her business. She's 19 years old, came to us after she had gotten her life license, couple months, hadn't sold a policy yet, and hopping in and wanting to really scale and grow the business with a focus on index universal life, IULs on the life side actually, and very much a heart and passion for helping those in that 20 to 35 age range of really understanding what the benefits are for life insurance for them, wealth accumulation, all kinds of stuff there. And so she came with us, started applying different social media strategies that we're teaching to TikTok, where that audience, 2035, really hangs out, and ended up going viral on TikTok, 100,000 plus views just on one video, 30,000 plus followers or something like that on there, to where she was booking 20 to 30 life appointments a week from TikTok for free to then sell index universal life insurance to those clients. In fact, she actually just from TikTok closed a 24,000 AP policy, which just in one sale was awesome. So just an example of using social for those news prospects. This is a way for free, using these platforms full of people and opportunities, and how to get in front of them, how to pull those prospects to you, those referral partners to you, how to become an authority, someone that they can trust and come to and do business with and send referrals to. And so there's all kinds of opportunities to drive that additional business and new prospects to you on these platforms where they already gather. They already hang out. If there's big events going on locally in your town, are you going to those? Yeah, you probably are. Social media is the big event of the world. So if you're going to go somewhere to start sourcing additional prospects where people are already hanging out, social media is huge, and a huge, huge opportunity that agents are just leaving on the table for the most part.
How many of you on the line right now would like to close a policy for $24,000 in annual premium? Right? Me in the comments. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That was today. Olivia did that, right?
Yeah. I think she closed it yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Awesome. Off of social media, guys. So here's some things that are really awesome about social media. And the first is that social media is highly leveraged. And I love this word leveraged. I think for most of us as business owners, we are looking to get more leverage in our business. So what does that actually mean? To do more with the time and resources that we have. With essentially, it's going to come down to time and money. So social media allows you to build connections and to get in front of so many more people than traditional face-to-face type networking, getting out into the community, shaking hands, meeting business owners. That's not to say that social media replaces that type of marketing. That's still a really important part that you should be including in your marketing. But what we're going to be talking about here is really how you can leverage social media so that instead of a one-to-one type of relationship building, you're actually one-to-many. So social media, just like in Olivia's example here, she's in front. She has, videos that have essentially gone viral on TikTok, where she has hundreds of thousands of unique viewers that are viewing her content. And the algorithm, social media, essentially is working behind the scenes to put her content in front of people who want to see it. That's pretty cool, right? Like when we think about it, that these social media platforms already have so much data on every single person that is logging into that social media platform, that platform knows exactly what type of content is interesting to them, things that they're, wanting to learn more about. So Olivia and TikTok was the platform that she's using. And so she's putting out content that is relevant to financial planning and how to use, like, what is an IUL, and educating her audience. And so the platform essentially is basically delivering her content to people that it's identified is interested in learning more about investment opportunities, how they can do more with their money, how they can get more leverage with their money. That's pretty cool, right? Like, let me know in the comments if you think that's pretty cool. I nerd out on this kind of stuff because I'm on the marketing side, but that's really awesome. So that's the first thing that social media does for you when you start using it. Again, posts could be seen by thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands, millions of people. And so some ways to actually start connecting with people. Facebook groups, we love. David and I, as he mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, we have Marketing for Insurance Agents, which is a Facebook group that we've built from the ground up with 26,000 insurance agents in it. And not only are we admins of a Facebook group and created our own Facebook group, but we also interact in Facebook groups and we use them to connect with people and build those relationships. So Facebook groups is a great way to get in front of your target audience. This can be either people that are in local community groups. These can be business owners that are in specific niches, like restaurant owners, for example, people that are starting out in entrepreneurship for the first time. Those can be great people that are, need help with their insurance and getting all of the insurance in place. People that are going through different life stages. They're relocating, they're having a baby, they're taking care of an aging parent. There are Facebook groups for literally all of these different types of people, and it's a fantastic way to start building your audience. The next is hashtags. So using 5 hashtags on the platform in Instagram and TikTok. You can use them on Facebook Reels as well, but typically, historically, Facebook has not been great for hashtags for extending your reach. But Instagram and TikTok are, because you do not have to be connected with people in order for them to see your content. And that's really the value of a hashtag. So a hashtag is essentially a search term that people can find you by. So great hashtags to use, again, thinking community. Who do you want to be connected with in the community? Using local-based hashtags, featuring content of events that are happening inside of your community, business owners that you want to feature. We're located in Southwest Florida, so SWFL is a super popular hashtag for us. It's a great way to get in front of a local audience and really build out that community presence. Finally, LinkedIn search is another fantastic way to get in front of people and start building that audience. So LinkedIn search, you can get very detailed, very, very targeted with, especially with business owners. A lot of pretty much everybody that has a business or has some sort of professional career is on LinkedIn. So not only can you search by job titles, the types of businesses that they either work for or that they own. You can also get specific to your city, your state, which really helps with getting in front of the right people.
So let's also talk about how social media be used to get the right fit leads, or the leads that are fit for what you're selling, what you're offering, who you want to work with, what you're passionate about, all kinds of stuff that social media allows us to get very targeted. And we did a training on this a couple weeks ago on personal branding and how to actually sell more, build your business through personal branding. Now there's riches and the niches. And so I think there's this common misconception with agents, hey, I can service everybody. Everybody's my client. I have products for everybody. And when you're the agent for everybody, you're really the agent for nobody. You don't stand out. You don't have a strong brand. You don't have a strong area of expertise that people know about and come to you. And when you're competing against someone that does have a strong brand and strong focus and expertise, people are going to work with them when they fall into that category. And so that's where having a target audience, having who you can help the most and are authority in, is key. It helps revolve all around your branding, your marketing, your social, for driving these prospects and referrals and referral partners to you. Doesn't mean you can't help other people. Doesn't mean you still can't write business with those people and service them too. But you're so much stronger when you do have that personal niche. And you can always expand from there as well. And so this is another example of a client of ours, Kelly Spees, who came to join us when she has a commercial lines P&C agency out in California, independent, and was doing quite well with that. And then COVID hit and went 4 months of literally no new business, not one sale in 4 months. Had to close down the office location, had to let go of the her staff, and was sitting at home about to close down that insurance agency. It was tough, especially when commercial lines were the main focus. And came to us saying, hey, I need to make something happen now. Trust you guys, been following you guys for a while. I wanna come in and really make something happen. So had her come in, had her start establishing these social strategies. I started making her sales again, hired an office admin back, getting stuff rolling, and then also helped her focus on her niche. She's very passionate about food trucks and loved doing commercial insurance for food trucks, and just loves food trucks in general, and had a good food truck scene where she was at, and wanted to become the food truck insurance person or agent, an agency. And so helped her brand around that. She actually branded herself Food Truck Freaks Insurance around that. And that became her specialty. That's what she was talking about. That's what she was doing her videos on. That's who she's connecting with, to the point where she had food trucks across California and across the country wanting to be on her videos, having her write their commercial insurance for them. Had food truck manufacturers reaching out to her saying, hey, we want you to write the commercial insurance for these food trucks that we're manufacturing, all kinds of stuff. From having this area of expertise in this niche she focused on. She still writes other business and personal lines and stuff as well, but her target and her niche is this commercial food trucks. And so driving this prospects to her, driving referrals to her for referral partner relationships, all through that social and what she was doing there, which is the right fit for her. She has great products and options for these food trucks to be able to help them the best. She knows this area, to be able to talk about the things that they're concerned with and help them. And so this is really how she became an authority and a brand around this, and now has more business than she knows what to do with. And so just all organically through social media. Once again, no ads, no leads, or ever, just using social media for this. And that's the power of being able to build yourself as an authority in a particular niche through social. And that's through Facebook and also through TikTok. She does really good TikTok videos too.
All right. So here are the keys to getting right fit leads, especially using social media. First, you want to make sure that you have product market fit, so that the products that are the ones that you're selling are the right fit for that audience that you are looking to reach with your marketing efforts. That's number one. So Kelly is a great example of this. Like, commercial food trucks would not be a good fit for her if she didn't have good offerings for food trucks and the carriers and the products that she can sell. And then next, after you make sure you've got that product market fit, It's really developing that niche and getting really specific on who that is. And so there's demographic information, which is going to be, where they live, how old they are, gender, marital status, all of that. But a niche is really in identifying either interest, hobby, life stage, something like that. Business owners, a type of business that they run, that really is going to start to narrow down that niche. And what's really powerful when you get clear on your niche is that you can really start to uncover the specific problems that this group of people experience. And when you start talking about not only the problems, but then the solutions to those problems, it makes your marketing so much more effective because people are attracted to it because they feel like you're speaking to them. And people, that trust and rapport, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later, but that trust factor really starts to come into play when people feel understood. So in your marketing, even before you get on the phone with them and through your social content, if you're able to make people feel understood, then you've got a much higher chance at closing that sale. And not only closing that sale, but for people to even make up in their minds that you're the right person, you're the right solution for them because you're already speaking their language. And there's likely going to be some sort of jargon or language that they use to either describe themselves, describe their problems, describe their wins, describe their successes, all of these things that will come into play that you can actually start to bring into your marketing and really start to differentiate yourself as the expert in that field, which is exactly what Kelly has done so successfully. Also, you can start to think about stories that you can tell to that market specifically that will relate to them. So Kelly does a really great job of this in her content, and she brings in stories that relate specifically to food truck owners, or even telling stories about the importance of having the right commercial coverages in place for business owners, that commercial auto in general, and talking about that for business owners. And so those are things. She basically is like, here's a situation, and she tees up a situation that would be a situation that a food truck owner might encounter, probably will encounter. So she talks about like food storage, food spoilage, like these very specific things, but those are things that food truck owners have to think about. So when she's able to tie that into her marketing and get really specific with those stories, not only is she, really positioning herself as that expert, but she's also triggering in the prospect's mind, this is me. She's talking to me. And as soon as you can get people to say, this is me, I have these problems, and in their mind, you link yourself with the solution, well, they're really warmed up at that point, and they're much more likely to do business with you. And then this also allows you to be hyper-focused with connecting with people in that market. So a lot of times what we see in marketing is that the people that are like, well, I can help everyone, it can get really confusing because it can be difficult to really know your strategy, your plan of action, if you will, or your plan of attack. When you have that clarity around who you're connecting with, it's going to alleviate the friction or the analysis paralysis for you as the agent, as the agency owner, because you'll know this is exactly who is the right fit for me. I'm going to put all of my effort, energy into connecting with this particular niche. And it's really going to make you, again, it's going to make it so that your time, your effort, everything that you're doing in your marketing is actually much more laser focused and targeted instead of just like this general type of spray and pray approach, which it's typically for most of us that are small businesses, we have limited time and limited resources. It's just too much to go this wide. So staying focused and really delivering value to a specific niche is a really great way to get traction and momentum earlier and faster with your marketing.
Speaking of analysis paralysis, if any of you have ever felt like you've been in analysis paralysis, or even right now, write me in the comments if that's ever been you, of unsure what to do, too many options, not sure what direction to go, not sure, what area to focus on for your marketing or lead gen, what type of tools, software to use, anything with your business. If you ever felt like you fell into analysis paralysis, definitely been there. Write me down in the comments and let me know. That's a common thing, and it's tough when it feels like I'm not sure what to do, what to put in place. And that's why having mentorship, guidance, someone to direct you, give you strategies that already work is so big. And so, so let's go ahead and hop in. That's really around the right fit. And go ahead and write yes if this is making sense to you. If you're tracking so far, this makes sense, you're getting some value out of this, go ahead and write yes in the comments and let us know. So I want to talk about, in addition to new prospects, in addition to finding the right fits and niching, also on using social for education and awareness as well. This is something we teach very much so, because this is great for building trust, authority, that ultimately helps drive these prospects to you as well and nurture them as well. We call this lead nurture too. So this is an example of another one of our clients, Christy Schultz, which I'll talk about in just a second, actually, because it's a really cool story there. But she is using social media and especially video to educate her prospects and clients, and really talking about common questions, common insurance myths, things that they didn't know or that could help them, explaining things in very simple terms, and educating her audience that in return is driving prospects and referrals to her. And whether it's someone looking to buy just that day or looking to buy later on after they've had some questions answered and stuff, she's doing this and building a pipeline of consistently bringing in prospects and sales from social, using this to educate these clients and using this to nurture them as well. So at any given time, only 10% of an audience is ready to purchase today. And insurance agents spend all their time and efforts looking for this 10%. Everybody's looking for the same 10%, hopefully getting in contact with them, working through a bunch of leads. Ready to buy today? No. You ready to buy today? No. And if they're not, they pretty much fall into the back of your pipeline. Maybe they'll never get worked again or ever, but it's always looking for this 10%. But that in reality, the other 90% are dropping in ready to buy tomorrow, next week, next month, sometimes even next year. And that's a whole pipeline you're missing out on if you don't have lead nurture built in. And social is one of the greatest opportunities for that, because as you have this audience and you're building this audience, even when you're not even connected with, you have this audience you're staying in front of, staying top of mind, that you're educating, continuing to build trust yourself as an authority. So as they drop into that 10% and ready to buy, they're coming directly to you and working with you. And as they know people dropping in that 10%, they're referring to you. And that's what's so powerful about this. And just to give an example on Christy and just how amazing this is. So Christy is a part of an agency that's based out of Texas, pretty much only focuses on commercial lines insurance. And they wanted to start getting into personal lines and start focusing on that as well, in addition to all the commercial that they've historically done. And so they hired Christy as a remote producer in Oklahoma, who had just gotten licensed, didn't come from insurance, and never sold insurance. And they don't work leads at all. And so they said, we want you to sell clients in Texas. We don't really care about you selling in Oklahoma. Don't really want you to focus on that right now. We want you to sell in Texas. So the new producer had never really done social, hadn't sold insurance before, and is in a different state in which she's selling. And like, how am I going to find these people to sell them insurance? And so they said, hey, we'll put her in the program, follow exactly what they say. And she said, I can do that. And so we said, okay, cool. And so we had her start implementing these social strategies for free, no ads or anything, just using these on social, to where I think her very first month as a P&C producer, just personal lines, she did 12,000 AP, and then quickly scaled that to 40,000 in personal lines P&C production a month in new business, all coming from social and driving this through her videos and through the social strategies that she was using. And then had a baby, came right back, and is now at 50,000 plus in personal lines premium and new business that she's doing a month, all through social and through video. Sounds pretty cool, right? Like, who wants to bring in a bunch of additional revenue, or even have producers on your team bring in a bunch of additional revenue, even remotely from social media for free? Right? Me in the comments, if that sounds pretty good, if you'd like to do that. But this is just showing an example of how powerful that is, that a brand new agent who's never done social media, never done insurance, is in a different state and selling remotely, can use social to build up a huge pipeline and do more in personal lines P&C production, for example, in this case, than most agents do at all, or even some agencies do in a month total. And so that's just an example of how you can really leverage social media.
Love it. And here's some things that just from Christy's story here that Christy has done really, really well. And so first off, just keeping in mind that the average consumer knows nothing about insurance. This is something that we see all the time, is that agents that are starting on social media, typically they don't know what to post. They don't know what to say. Let me know in the chat if you've ever felt like that before. Maybe you've wanted to create content in the past, but you're just not sure what to say. And one thing that Christy's done really well is that she's brought it all the way back to the basics of, just very simple explaining, like, what is premium, for example. You would be surprised how many people probably just don't even understand what it means what premium means on their insurance policies. And so even distilling it down to the very basics of that, answering, just very simple questions, or even things that people probably don't even think about. One of the big things is, why work with an insurance agent? Why is that valuable? And just starting to really dive into those basics and almost think of it as like insurance 101, especially for your specific product. If, whatever you're selling, Medicare can be a very complex thing that overwhelms a lot of consumers. They don't know really what to start. There's all of these different parts to Medicare. And so even just starting there with the basics of Medicare, for our PNC, what should they look out for on their home insurance policy, on an auto policy, for life insurance, starting to explain the concepts of final expense. And one of the challenges with this that I like to think about is, how can you explain this as if you're explaining it to a fifth grader without using insurance jargon, and just really making it very benefit forward, benefit rich for people. So this is great to do on video specifically. Our clients, you'll see all of these screenshots that we're taking. All of this is video. So video is fantastic. Especially in 2022, all social media platforms are pushing video more and more and more, especially with the rise of TikTok coming on the scene and coming out really hot, gaining a lot of new users every single day. Other social media platforms like Facebook are looking to compete with TikTok. So delivering your content through video is a fantastic way to start positioning yourself as that knowledge expert, that industry expert, especially as it relates to that niche that you've already identified. And so you want to really help them understand why your products are the solution to the problems that they have. And they might not even be aware of some of the problems. And so that's a great place to start as far as helping to educate people on potential problems that you're helping them avoid, and then how your products are the solution for those problems. And then, as David mentioned, only 10% of any given market is ready to buy today. So when you're using social media, it really allows you to stay top of mind. So when people are ready to purchase, your name, your agency is the one that they're reaching out to, because you've been consistently staying in front of them using social media.
So let's also talk about how social media can help you have better conversations. And example of conversations that some of you or a lot of you may have had that are example of not great conversations. Let's talk internet leads or age leads and stuff like that. You call, it's like, why are you calling? If they even pick up, I already have insurance. I don't need that. Go away, hang up. It's not really a great conversation. And, it's a conversation. If we work through enough, we'll hopefully find some people that are willing to talk with us. But at the end of the day, you guys aren't selling widgets. You guys are helping people protect their lives, their families, their health, their property. Very important things. And so we owe it to have these conversations and to show people this value and this protection, but we got to get them having this conversation with us, right? Conversations are the currency of this industry and of your business. And so how do we have these conversations? And so social media is a huge area where we can have these conversations, have people asking us questions. We can engage with them. We can take this into Messenger and have these conversations back and forth with them that lead to calls. And so an example of this is another client of ours, Matt Harms, who's using social media very much to have these conversations, but also bridging in-person and digital world with this as well. But Matt Harms was a scratch PNC agency owner that had just started his agency a couple months before coming into our program, had kind of stalled out and was wanting to scale and grow where he was at, especially very quickly. And so within less than 4 months, it tripled his production and was using social media very effectively, organically, to drive in additional business for his agency and very much to have these conversations. He'd use video and Facebook Reels to get in front of his audience, to have them reaching out, driving conversations that he'd then take the calls and sell them. And all of a very powerful way of using social for new prospects and driving those in. But on the flip side, it would also affect in person as well. So Matt would go to local networking and different events, establish himself very much in the local community, which is very powerful where he was at. But one of the advantages, I don't think he even realized what he was doing, was that people, when he'd walk into these events, people would walk up that he's never met before and be like, Matt, I've been watching your videos forever. I've seen them. I love them. I feel like I already know who you are, what you do. Look forward to talking more about either working with you as a referral partner or about helping me with my own insurance. All of people he's never even met before. Walking into a room that already has a warmed up audience that knows who you are, what you do, already wants to work with you, all from using social to warm up even locally as well. And so just some examples of how you can use social media to have better conversations, of course, through digital methods and means, but also how that can translate in person to your local areas, communities and stuff for these conversations and increasing your brand in these conversations with them when you've never even met them before and through the social areas. So it's very, very powerful and just another benefit of using social for your insurance agency.
I love it. How many of you watching here would love it to walk into a room that's some sort of networking event and already have people know who you are? Write me in the chat if that would be something like, and this is something that we see a lot with our clients, a lot with people that use social media effectively. This happens to us all the time. Pretty much anytime we're at an event, people will be like, I've seen you before. And whether or not they 100% know what we do, they've likely seen our faces before. They're like, I've seen you on Facebook. You've shown up on my feed. And that's really powerful because what that does is social media really allows some of that heavy lifting of that rapport and trust building. So some things that Matt's done really well is that he's allowed social media through his content creation that he's building that rapport. He's building that authority. Again, social media is doing a lot of that heavy lifting for him that he's putting out on social media. So he has that know, like, and trust factor already, whether that's he's walking into a local networking event or he or his team, not just him, but also his team is getting on the phone with the prospect. So what it does is it really makes prospects that are on the phone or people that you're meeting in person, it makes them a lot warmer because they already have a sense of who you are. They've already heard your voice on video. They've seen you. And when people see you on video is our next best thing to being able to shake somebody's hand and look at them in the eye. So video is really, really powerful. I hope that you're writing down, if you're taking notes, I hope you're putting video at the top of your list, no matter what social media platform you're using, because that's going to really be the thing where people are going to start to connect with you. And what this does, the result of everything that we've been talking about, what this is going to do is it's going to culminate in an increased close rate. So Tina Trans, one of our clients, we haven't talked about her story, but she, through social media, was able to get her closing percentage up beyond 70% and close to 80% of every single phone call she was having. She was closing 80% of those calls because they were warm. They were ready to talk to her and they were the right fit leads because she was using all of these strategies and connecting with the right people, staying on top of mind, using education and awareness content. So by the time she got on the phone with them, and a lot of them would reach out to her, getting into her direct messages, reaching out, or she was meeting them out in the community, and they already knew who she was and they already liked her. And in their minds, they already just decided that they wanted to do business with her based off of the relationship that they had built with her through her social media content. Hope you guys, I'll even say that again, because this is so key, is that we talk about this all the time. Insurance, this industry, and really business in general is built off of relationships. And social media is no different. Sometimes we feel like we're putting content, we're putting things out into the world, and it feels like, oh, this is just nobody's seeing this, or I don't know who I'm talking to. But the reality is that people are seeing the content that you're putting out, especially when you're strategically connecting with them. And what this does is it builds that know, like, and trust. It's building that relationship. So every time that you're putting out a piece of content that's educational, you're positioning yourself as that expert, what you're doing is you're really building that relationship. So it's going to increase your close rate. It's also going to increase your opportunity to cross-sell because you're positioned as that authority and somebody that they like. So when they like you and they trust you, if you're advising them on, hey, you might need this and this product as well, they're going to be much more likely and ready for that cross-sell than an internet lead that you're picking up the phone and trying to have a conversation with. Sometimes, a lot of times it's hard even just to keep internet leads on the phone or get them to answer. We're talking about really warm, qualified leads because they've already been nurtured through this ecosystem of social media. And then it's going to make your customers sticky, retain longer. Again, going back to that relationship building aspect of it.
So now that we covered a few different aspects on why social is powerful, why you want to do that, how it can benefit your insurance agency, let's talk about getting started on social media. Who wants to learn about some key things you need to know to put in place, common myths of things that are not going to be effective versus what actually works? Who wants to know that? Write me in the comments, and that's what we're going to dive into right now. So let's jump in. And great question, Rick. We'll get that answered as well as the rest of them in just a little bit. So stick with us and we'll make sure you get those answers. So the very first thing is really the difference between business pages versus personal profiles. What's the difference? What's effective? What works? And a lot of this comes back to how does Facebook work itself? So quick quiz question. I'm sure you guys will get this right very quickly. How does Facebook make money? Write in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to see who gets this first, but how does Facebook make money? I think we all really know. But yes, ads. Thank you, Greg. You got it first. But Facebook makes its money through ads. It's a publicly traded company. It's incentivized to make money, to make revenue, and it does so through ads, is how it primarily monetizes. And so therefore, the algorithm that is built behind Facebook and how it works and how it decides who to show what, when, where, all that good stuff is very much optimized for that. And so if we come to this and we think, okay, a lot of people, my business page is for business, my personal is for personal, and that's how it works, and that makes sense. That's great. That's not how it works at all, unfortunately. Although it does make sense in theory, right? Business pages, Facebook is not incentivized to get that in front of people, especially for free, because they want you to pay and spend money for ads. Of course, it makes sense. And so with that, business pages have abysmal reach, and that's on purpose. Facebook very much limits that reach because it doesn't want you promoting the business for free instead of spending on ads. And so you're lucky if you get a 1 to 3% reach off your business page, meaning you can have 1,000+ people following your business page, and you're lucky if 10, 20, 30 people see it when you post. And so what we're talking about here is that Facebook wants you to spend on ads and will limit it on the business page. So business pages are not actually what drives drives new prospects, referrals, and referral partners. It's getting you in front of audience. That's not how business pages are used. Think about the last time you came on Facebook and were just scrolling and browsing business pages. It doesn't happen like that. Normally, you're discovering a person and then coming through to their page or coming from another place to it. But business pages aren't where people are initially discovering and coming through as prospects and referrals. And so business pages still have some great uses and there's reasons behind them. We'll talk about that in just a second, but that's not primarily how that works. And so on the flip side, thinking about how does Facebook work? How does it incentivize? It is a social network, and Facebook has the exact opposite incentive on the personal profile side. Facebook wants those to get in front of people. They want those interacting and engaging. They want you spending as much time on Facebook as possible and scrolling and going through content and checking that out, because the more that you're doing that, and the more that you're on Facebook, the more ads they get to serve you, the more money you make. It really is that simple. Like the algorithm wants to incentivize people engaging, connecting, those dopamine hits, so you stay on there so they can serve you more and more ads and make more and more money. And so that's why personal profiles are excellent for running social strategies and for driving these prospects, these referrals, because Facebook wants to get this in front of people. Facebook wants to get you and your personal profile connected with other people and engaging. And so this works great when in combination with both personal content and business content coming from your personal profile, because this is now how you can get in front of people. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth, but that is the basics of how Facebook works and incentivizes. And I know we're talking about Facebook here, but this really applies to all social media platforms. They all make their money through ads, very much don't necessarily want content to get in front of free, but when you combine that personal and business into the social aspect of that they are wanting to get in front of people, this is how you can leverage them for free for prospects and referrals and referral partners. So talking about business pages, should I have them at all? Are they completely useless after what you're saying? No, absolutely. They are useful. You do want one. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it's brand to your business. So it's great for branding. It's great for brand awareness and what your business is. But also it's great for the social proof aspect. And so, that's a great place to collect reviews, to see that some of your content, that you're live, that you're active, you're actually in business, and how to get in contact with you as well. And so a lot of times they discover you from the personal, click to come to your business page. How do I get in contact? What kind of reviews do they have? Okay, how do I do business with them? And so it's a great page to have. And you also need to have it to run ads, for example. So it's there are a lot of uses for it, but like I said, it's not primarily going to be at all for driving prospects or referral partners, because this is not where they come through and discover you. And so they are pay to play, meaning that the reach of them is severely limited. So a post once a week or every couple weeks and stuff on there, it's fine. It's not really where you're going to be running the social strategies, but you do want to collect reviews on them, and it's a great place for people to find you. So it is good to have a business page and to have it linked on your personal profile. So on the flip side, personal profiles. That's what we're talking about. That's where all the strategies run through. That's what really works, is effective. And this is great for connecting with your prospects and ideal prospects. And this is where you're getting in front of them. They're hearing you, they're seeing you, you're building trust, authority, yourself as a person they can come to for their questions, to have insurance help, someone that they can refer to. And Facebook's incentivized to get this out and in front of people. And this is all coming from that personal profile. You get to build trust, that rapport with your audience, whether they're ready to buy now or in next week or next month. And you're able to constantly be in front of them. This consistency keeps you top of mind and continues to build up your trust with them as well. And that's who they do business with, someone they know, like, and trust. And that's all done through that personal profile. And you get to talk about your business, educate, and how you help people and everything around that as a part of this as well, which helps drive that in. So this is really how you can combine all that with this personal profile. At the end of the day, people work with people, not companies. And the personal profile is really how they get to see you both as someone that's real and someone they want to work with, versus a nameless company, or not a faceless company, that they don't know who the specific agent is that they're going to do business is going to help them, that they can trust. And so you can share both business and personal content from your personal profile, and think of it kind of like a networking event, and a way to constantly get in front of people and them get to know you, in addition to how you can help and serve as well.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the content itself. And so, yes, you want to think about social media content like this networking event. So if you walk into a networking event, you typically don't jump right into business and aren't just like, here's, what I can do for you, or there's typically some rapport that's built there, just like in a sales call, just in every relationship in life. there's typically some sort of connection that you will make with someone that is a life-based connection. Where are you from? Do you have kids, pets, hobbies, interests? Those types of connections will typically be made before, you move the conversation into business. So you want to think about your social content in exactly the same way. Again, just to reiterate what David was talking about, all of this is coming from a personal profile, not a registered business page. This is with any social media platform. You don't want to tell a social media platform, hey, I'm a business, and now you're putting all of your content through a business page, because any social media platform wants you to pay for that promotion. So you can still use your personal profile where you're talking about life and business together. And you're going to get so much more reach and exposure with that through a business page. And so here's some examples of more personal style posts, but that still touch on business. Of course, since it's going to be from your personal profile, we also highly recommend including content that isn't related to your business at all, but it's more about life, hobby, interests, pets, kids, motivational, thoughts, ramblings, whatever you want to share, because that type of content is, very social content, and the platform will reward this type of content. So we've got a client here. She's sharing, Happy Cinco de Mayo from her team, and she's got a whole shot of her office and everybody's smiling and happy. Facebook and social media platforms love your face. They love imagery and video, and because those are the things people are drawn to. People connect with people. So anything that has someone's face in it, whether it's an image or a video, is going to perform much better than written text type content. So these posts are great. We also have like a Merry Christmas post, but anything that's really sharing your life, family, interest, hobbies, all of that is really going to help your profile and the health of your profile overall, and start signaling to the platform, hey, this person is putting out content that people want to engage with. So creating engaging content, entertaining content is valuable in that it's going to extend the reach of your profile and all of the pieces of content that you put out overall. So this, again, these posts are meant to be for engagement, and then also that trust building aspect of it, your face, your office, people seeing where you work, people seeing behind the scenes a little bit. People really connect with that type of content. All right, and this is more business content. So Matt Harms and Kelly Spees, who David mentioned earlier, you can see both of these are videos. And this is really where that building trust, authority, and education comes into play. And what's really important with these, and I think is so important to point out, is that neither of these videos are highly produced videos. It's not like they went out, hired a video editor, had everything perfectly polished. This is literally them holding up a phone that's selfie style and hitting record on that video. And this type of content actually outperforms the highly polished content or pre-made content. So this is where I like to mention hearsay, for example. Anything that's pre-made is not going to perform like a video of you talking, of you showing up, educating your audience and delivering value to them. A pre-made post cannot do that. Write that down if you're taking notes. A pre-made post, pre-made content cannot replace you showing up, or somebody on your team showing up and positioning yourself as that expert, as that authority. You speaking, using your voice in your own words, your voice, your cadence, your face. That is really where branding comes in. We've done personal branding trainings, but a lot of it is on you as a person, you as the agent, as the agency owner, positioning yourself as that expert. It's also really important for pulling out interested people. So including calls to action inside of your content is really important. So things like call me, or sending them to a website where they can fill out more information. Or my most favorite is simply asking them to drop a comment like me. if you would like more information or a keyword. And this is really where you're going to start seeing who wants to take that next step, who wants to carry the conversation further, who wants to have a consultation and go through either that appointment or that quoting process. All right, some rules of thumb. Don't post all business. You want to also keep it fun and social. You want to make sure that you're using your face, your voice, that you're getting in front of your audience. Don't use pre-made content. We talked about that. Remember the 3 E's: engage, entertain, and educate. If your content is centered around being engaging, entertaining, and educational, you're golden. That's great. You want to make sure you use those call to actions to pull out people that are interested and that want to take the next step. So call to actions are really, really important because you are going to start to see who's watching, who's interested, who wants to take the next step. And if you don't ask the question, you will never know. And then you want to also do this consistently. People always ask, how often? Well, the answer is you can never really create too much content. That's never the problem. But we typically say post on a daily basis or at least 5 times a week. And with that, if you're doing the 5 times a week, typically 2 posts on business and 3 posts that are more personal or engagement style posts. All right. With that, before we move into questions here, if you would like these resources, as far as the slide deck that we have here, as well as some case studies, we've included Olivia's case study on how she's booking that 20 to 30 appointments consistently from TikTok, as well as Becky Craycraft on how she's doing 100,000 a month using these strategies. You can scan the QR code here and enter in your information, and you'll get an automated email that includes also a Facebook group invite. So if you're not part of the Facebook group yet, it'll have a link to the group as well as a link to those case studies. We will also send you the slides as well to this presentation. So if you want that, we have those available for you. And so I'll also drop the link here for you as well. Into the chat. You can also go to the link, which will take you to this page. It'll say, yes, send me the resources. You'll click this button, fill out your information. We'll send you the invite and the case studies, as well as the slides. I think the slides will probably come in a separate email, or maybe an SMS, so just be on the lookout for that. But if you want them, we'll make sure to get them to you. So fill out your information here, hit submit. And that'll go into our system so we can send those over to you. Also, if you're interested in learning any more about working with us to implement these strategies inside of your business, in the Closers Click program, like we mentioned at the beginning, go ahead and fill out this information. Somebody from our team will absolutely be in touch with you. All right, with that, David, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we move into questions?
No, nothing else to add. We're going to jump into some questions that you guys have asked. And if you got any additional questions on social media, anything that we've covered or anything else, favorite colors, favorite ice cream, whatever, go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we'll spend the next few minutes answering some questions for you guys and diving in. So you got anything in specific that you want answers to, go ahead and drop that in there and we will get those answered for you. Great question, Brian. We'll get that answered too as a part of this. So, but once again, in the meantime, go ahead and scan the QR code, grab the case studies that we got. We have some awesome trainings for you guys. And we'll get the replay of this sent over to you guys too. So with that, what we got here? Tim Curlius, I'd like to learn more about how an agent could use TikTok. Call me Foggy, but I don't sing or dance. You know what? I try to sing and dance a little bit, but no, you don't have to. Olivia, that we were talking about, for example, earlier, all of her videos are educational and her talking about a topic or financial literacy or different stuff on hers. You absolutely don't have to sing or dance to do well on TikTok. In fact, my singing and dancing videos don't even do that great compared to me talking and providing some value education on something. I guess I'm not the best singer, dancer, or whatever. I think I got some moves, maybe not like Jagger, but whatever, close enough. So yes, we can absolutely show you, Tim, on how to rock it on TikTok and the platforms without having to sing or dance. Unless you want to.
That's
fine. That's fine.
That's a misconception too about TikTok. And TikTok is actually an incredible educational platform where people are looking for information. So it's a distraction platform like other social media platforms as well. But people that are on TikTok, just depending again on the demographic, are likely looking to learn information or to discover something that they didn't know. So like David said, it's true for me as well. My best performing content is me talking at the camera, providing, 30 seconds to 60 seconds of a quick tip or value. And then, of course, putting in some of those call to actions where it makes sense as well.
Perfect. If you got any follow-up to that, go ahead and drop it in the chat and we can get those answers too. Peter Lamont, can you target by financial demographics? I'll let you answer this a little bit, but as far as I'm aware, like Facebook, for example, is very much taken away specific financial targeting, although there are ways to still kind of end up with the same audience. But
yeah, so no, you can't target by income level. But the better question or way to think about this is if you know your ideal client, we call it avatar, really well, then you'll know the types of interests they have, the cars that they drive, maybe they're members of a golf club or they own boats or whatever, as far as like your demographic is, you would know other interests that they have. And that's where the intersection comes of knowing where to connect with them.
And also if we go from an organic side, it's kind of asking more about ads there, but from an organic side, Facebook's smart. They'll kind of learn who your target audience is as you start connecting and engaging with those people and wanting to serve you more people like that or suggesting people like that to you. Also through Facebook groups, one of our favorites as well is getting into groups of those interests and targets and targeted audience as well is a great way to get in front of multiple of those too and start making connections and stuff there. As you have clients that fit within those, like a high net worth audience and stuff, as you're friends with them on Facebook and social and stuff as well, getting connected through their friends and audiences and then referring you and sending those too. There's all kinds of ways to leverage it, even without necessarily having specific financial targeting. In fact, that's not really something that's offered on most platforms as far as targeting by like income levels, for example. So, but like we said, there's ways to definitely get around it.
Yeah.
So if you got any follow-up for that, go ahead and let us know in the comments too. Rick, how do you limit the social media usage to only states you're licensed in? Okay, so good questions. I got a few things here. So one, the very first thing is I get why you're asking the question. I'm only licensed in particular states, so I just want to connect with people there and sell them for those states. But I also want to challenge, like, you can help people even if they're not states you're licensed in, and those are opportunities as well. So I wouldn't focus so much on just how can I only get in front of people within states I'm licensed, is I want to get in front of an audience of people that want my help, want to come to me, want to refer to me. They don't have to be in your state to refer to you, to have family in your state. There's all kinds of benefits, even if they're not necessarily in your state. And if they're not in your state and are looking for help, this is it's a perfect opportunity for having a referral partner in that state to work with that can also send people in your state. So at the end of the day, you want people coming to you, even if they're not necessarily in your state too. But on the flip side, Facebook, like we said, is smart too. Algorithm wise, as you're connecting and as you're building your audience, you're engaging with the stuff, Facebook also knows, okay, they really want to be connected either locally or with people here. They may notice that the location area as well. And so that's fine. And then also Facebook groups and looking at local groups or state groups and stuff for interest, hobbies, or in general businesses like chambers, stuff like that. If you connect with businesses at all within the states that you want to connect with and make those connections with, that's another way to get in front of those particular audiences and stuff as well. So there's a lot if you do want local or states that you're in, but I do want to challenge on not limiting yourself just to the states that you're licensed in, and really more driving people that are wanting to come to you for help, whether you can help them directly with getting them set up with the right insurance or through connection with referral partners, which is also great as well. So hopefully that helps a little bit too. And the commission. So the follow up on that, not sure if the commission split is valid outside of licensed states. Also, don't think of it just in commission splits. Yes, that is an opportunity if you both have the same type of licenses or different states and stuff, for example. But in reality, there's many other ways to provide value in referral relationships, referral connection opportunities, other than a transactional nature, and which really isn't really a super solid and long lasting strategic referral relationship. The ones that do the best absolutely are not like, hey, let's sell this person to split a commission. It is a lot of other ways you can drive that value that we talk on, and I'm not going to go all in depth on that too, but I wouldn't look at it just on a split commission basis, especially if they primarily focus on a different line or something like that. Let's see. Brian, have you had agents that are not agency owners join? Yes, absolutely. We got producers in the programs. We have agency owners, both captive, independent, all lines of insurance, people that have never used social Facebook before, to 19-year-olds that are very familiar with social media. So yes, I would say our actual average age in the program is probably 50 to 55. Last I checked, we are also around 50% women agency owners and producers as well. So yes, really, whether you're a brand new agent, just got licensed, looking to hit it off immediately and put stuff in place for growing and scaling your business the right way, or you're established agency owner with multi-million-dollar P&C book, or doing 10, 50,000 a month in life insurance, wherever that is, we can help grow and scale within the programs, no problem. So hopefully I answered your question, Brian. Kim, how do you learn to use tools in TikTok, Instagram to make posts look good? We teach on train on that as a part of the programs, but honestly, a lot are a little bit more simple than probably people think or give them credit for. As you kind of go in and start playing around and using stuff, you learn it pretty quickly. Like, yes, there are a bunch of different options, but in reality, there aren't as like a ton that you're going to use on a regular basis. In fact, L&I's like best performing content and content that like Olivia and some of these others are doing, like on TikTok, for example, they're pretty much just like almost a record on your phone, maybe throw a title in, and if you want a little background music or no background music, and that's it. I mean, there isn't like all this crazy editing or different things that go in. In fact, videos that I do with a lot of that, or that I see people do with a lot of that, actually tend to get less engagement reactions, even though they seem more interesting. It's really, if people are listening for the value and the education portion, they don't need that stuff or want that stuff. They want to focus on what you're saying, and so that can actually almost end up distracting and pulling away from that. So I would challenge, do get in and play with it a little bit to like be able to throw like a basic title or something like that. But in reality, you do not have to be some video editor to do well on these platforms or to create content that looks decent. Ella, I don't know if you have anything to add to that one.
No, I would agree. Just putting out content, recording it on your phone, uploading it to the platform. I wouldn't worry too much about making it look any certain way.
Awesome. Oh yeah, Brian, looks like Marina, who's actually one of our clients, is an independent agent in PCC as well. Feel free to talk with her if you'd like. She actually is crushing it with the Russian demographic. She speaks Russian and has a whole bunch of that audience coming to her and having her help them with their Medicare and different stuff as well. A great example of finding the niche, going after that niche and helping them and getting tons of referrals from that niche as well. So and using social media to do so. So really awesome. Let's see, things like links, adding Calendly. So yeah, absolutely. And a lot of like TikTok, for example, and stuff like that. Yeah, you can't do a link in the bio unless it's a business account or unless you have a certain amount of followers and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really worry about links and Calendly and stuff. At the end of the day, the goal is you want to end up in conversation with the people, right? And so how do I make this as smooth and frictionless as possible? We were actually just talking about this today in training. And if you are giving them links to go to, to then find out whatever next to click on, or a calendar that they've got to figure out what dates work for them and get to that calendar link, and then maybe get busy and they'll come back and book the time with you. So if you're making it too much friction, too difficult for them, and you're also losing this conversation piece that's happening as well, and having them go immediately click a link to book a time to talk to you about insurance, maybe asking them too much when they really just had a few questions about insurance and we can have answered first, and they're not sure if they actually want to buy insurance or why they even need it yet. And so that's where conversation's key. So if you can get them engaging with you in the chat, whether that's Facebook Messenger or if that's in TikTok DMs, and starting to have conversation with them, and then use that to drive them to a call, an appointment and stuff, then that's way better, especially as most platforms will actually limit the reach and different stuff if you're using links and different stuff in your posts and comments and stuff like that as well. So that's just an easy way of getting straight into conversations, and then you can drive it from there. So yeah, Kim, if you scan this and fill that stuff out, then we'll have someone from team talk with you, answer any questions, and can tell you more about program and different stuff as well on how we help agents grow and scale through social. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay, so I think that's all the questions. If anybody's got any final ones they want to drop, feel free. But once again, feel free to scan this QR code or use that link. I will drop it one more time in chat, and you'll get the slides from the presentation night. You get 2 additional case studies, video case studies that we've done on Olivia and how she's grew and scaled her business through social, especially TikTok on the life insurance side, but also Becky Craycraft on the PNC side, and how she's doing 100,000 plus in new business a month through social media, along with some other methods and stuff as well. So feel free to check that out, grab that. I think I've got all the questions left. I don't see anybody else drop any. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. But I will say, inside the Marketing for Insurance Agents group, ask questions, dive in. We're here to help. That's what we made this group for. Connect with other agents, ask questions, find referral partners. But then we're here to help with answering questions or connecting you and stuff as well. And then, like I said, we do these trainings every single week, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Go ahead and just block it off in your calendars. And we'll either do webinars like this, or we'll do Facebook Lives inside the group as well. So stay tuned and be sure to check it out for next week. But in the meantime, you guys have an awesome week. Thanks for being here on Selling More Social Media. I hope you guys found a lot of value in this. And we will see you in the group and see you next week.